Hello and welcome to this episode of TrishRockTV, An Energy Shift. Changing energy, shifting perceptions. This week's episode features an amazing lady who truly is doing magnificent work in the community. We are talking today to Shaz Harrison from NeedAFeed. Now, Shaz, the mission for NeedAFeed is to empower, connect and provide food to those in the community who are facing tough life challenges. NeedAFeed aims to provide a listening ear and support local families without discrimination. The services include, they work in partnership with Mission Australia, Ability Links, Darcy House, Aboriginal services, various neighbourhood centres, Lions and Rotary clubs, and many other organisations. These organisations connect with families and individuals who need support with one of life's basics, food. Now, the objectives of NeedAFeed are to provide service to local families within resources available to NeedAFeed, to develop a viable service to effectively support local families' present and future needs, to support clients to be valued and contributing members of their local community, and to work together with community organisations to help reach and support those who are in need in the local community. And NeedAFeed also provides services and time and resources to connect and listen to those people who may feel segregated from the community via the NeedAFeed coffee van. So I'm so thrilled and excited to introduce my beautiful friend Shaz and to really share with us her passion for this, how she helps in the community and the difference that she is absolutely making. So welcome, Shaz.
Hi Trish, thank you so much for having me on your show. Thank you.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. What an amazing difference you make. And ever since I've known you, you have never lost sight of that mission, of that objective, and we've known each other for quite a lot of years now. Yeah. And you know, things have grown in NeedAFeed, but you've never ever said it's too hard, I don't want to do it anymore, I just can't do it. Whatever challenges come your way, the passion and the drive and the vision you've got to help the community always wins. And you know, it's just a beautiful thing to watch. And yeah, I get a bit emotional about it because I just feel you change people's lives. So let me ask you, so in your words, tell us what NeedAFeed is. Explain to people what it is and what you do.
Okay, well, NeedAFeed, we do a variety of things within NeedAFeed. We hold community dinners regularly during the school term. And you know, a lot of people with the community dinners, they say, oh, but I can afford food. And I say to them, it's not always about affording the food. It's about connection and the conversations and just sharing a meal with someone, because a lot of the time, the people that go aren't always, but sometimes it's the only meal that they will share with someone for the week. Yeah. So we're just about connecting, and it's a really nice place, fun place to be. So that's one of the things that we do. We also collect food from the local foragers market. Yep. Our wonderful volunteers. So we've got a team of volunteers who go out to the foragers market in Bulle. They collect the food, package it all up, and it goes directly to the families in the local area. So there's around 20 families every week that receive fresh food that they would not otherwise get. So they're always really grateful, and we always put pictures on the Facebook page to keep people updated, and everyone's so happy, and it lightens the load every week for these people. So that's a beautiful thing to be a part of. We also have our coffee van, Need a Coffee. Yep. down in Globe Lane in Wollongong, and also Darcy House in Port Kembla. So we provide food from the coffee van. Sometimes the foragers' food goes there as well. And that's about connection as well, and having a chat over coffee, you know, just providing a safe place for people to come and gather and have those conversations with our volunteers, who part of the criteria is the positive conversations, you know, and providing that purpose for people who sometimes they've lost everyone in their family, or they're going through really, really tough situations like domestic violence. They've fled their homes and they're homeless. They're living, you know, on a park bench or in a tent. And there's actually 1,500 people every night in the Illawarra who are doing just that. They are living down the beach in a tent, in their car. Sometimes there's whole families living in cars.
It's frightening figures, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So we provide that support there that they just may not be able to get.
Yeah.
So food collection, community dinner, emergency food parcels as well. So we work with other organisations. They refer their people to us, who they may have an appointment with another service. Sorry, can you cut that? Oh gosh, sorry about that. I was trying to fight that. Okay, so
that's okay.
So take two.
Take two.
So we also provide emergency food relief via our partner organisations, who they email us with a referral. One of our volunteers takes it out to their service and the person comes to pick up the food. So that is usually in between seeing other services who might be able to provide food as well. Yeah. But we fill in the gap, but within that, it's either that day or the next day that we provide the food. Yeah. So it fills in the gap. So I just wanted to work with all the other organisations that are out there and see how we could work together and fit in and not reinvent the wheel, and just do that connection and support and, yeah, just try and be there for as many people as we possibly can. And what I always say is, we're not there at the coffee van especially, we're not there to give advice or tell people what to do. I always want to just share my own experiences, which, as you know, Trish, that's been a little bit challenging the last couple of years. Broken marriage, 22 years, shocking. That's finished. I'm stronger and better for that, and I feel more like myself than I've ever felt in my whole life. So I just share my experience, my different life experiences with people that I connect with. And I try and, you know, I just share how I have handled different situations, and I hope that it is the right time for them to hear what they need to hear and possibly change the path they're going in, and just know that we're there for them.
And they definitely do know that you're there for them, because you have regulars now at the coffee van, and also at the dinners and everything. And I mean, the support you get, I was at the foragers markets with you once, and the support that you get there is incredible. It was so much fun. And it's great. You know, they all know what you're doing, and the amount of food that they donate to NeedAFeed is incredible. And but they know that you've got a growing number of people that, you know, you support too. So it's a really incredible thing. And the homelessness is always a big figure, and it's kind of hidden. People don't really realise that so many people, especially families, are out there in their cars, and every little bit helps. If you can help out a family, you know, have food for the week, it makes a big difference to people's lives. But as we said, you do more than that as well, because it's the connection, it's the human connection too. So,
because, you know, someone told me there's 5 parts to, you know, rebuilding and dealing with whatever the tough situation in your life is. And I can't remember exactly all of them, but one of them is seeing a psychologist, and it's all the services like that and who can help you in that way. And then one really big important one is just the human interaction.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said before, so many people just don't get to talk to people, and sometimes the people they are talking to aren't possibly the most positive people in their lives, but they're stuck and they're trapped and they don't know what to do or who they can talk to. And we like to think that we fill in that gap too, and just listen, do a lot of listening, no judging at all, because everyone has a story.
Everyone has
a story, and it
depends. Absolutely, and everybody's got their own perspective. But yeah, you're right. When you know, when people gather, if they're in the same mindset, they just continue to talk that mindset. But if they can hear a different perspective on something, it might just be the spark that day that they need to make a change. And I'm sure that there are many people who've experienced that with you that you probably don't even know about.
Yeah. Well, I always say to people as well, if you look for the positive, you'll find the positive. If you look for the negative, you'll find that too. And it's a muscle. Recently, we did some haircuts for our coffee van community, and that just lifted their spirits so much. And if you look back at the videos that I did around 8 videos on the day, and it was just the communicating with people and asking them how they felt. And I gave them homework. So their homework was the attitude of gratitude.
Okay.
So they had to write down 3 people they were grateful for, and it was all just building that muscle of trying to look for the positive, you know. And the before and after photos I took, and the talking to them throughout the whole process. They had a bounce in their step. Their shoulders were back. They were walking taller. It absolutely made their day. And that was a ripple effect of what we do flowing out into the community, because a lot of businesses and people want to help, but they don't know how to do it.
Absolutely.
They don't know how to do it. People are very willing.
They are very willing, and quite often just donating money doesn't really feel right. It's more, you want to offer more of a service rather than just kind of and a lot of people do donate, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But offering a service to people once a month, or like the hairdresser, or helping people in some way, actually gets you one-on-one, so with the people, so that they can also then help them in a personal connectedness way like you do, and it feels good for them. Did you find that any of them resisted the homework?
Some of them did. And I said, well, that's a condition. You've got to do it. I mean, if they really didn't want to, I wasn't going to make them. But because they're so grateful, and they don't even realise how grateful they are for how we help them, and having the conversations that we do, they were saying, oh, I'll do it for you, Shaz, I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
You know? And then they said, oh, here you go. And I said, no, it's not for me. I read through them, but I said to them, part 2 of your homework is put that on your fridge or on your mirror, somewhere where you're going to see it.
Yeah.
And you can, you know, because I have a friend, Tracy from the Positive PA.
Yeah.
She, the one who sent me this printout, and she said it's called Positive Reminiscing. So I said, put that on your fridge, read through it, and all the great feelings that you had on the day are going to come flooding back to you. So you just got to keep reading it and keep getting that into your mind and your brain, and it changes the chemicals in your brain, and it has a flow-on effect, which then can hopefully flow on to all of the people that they're hanging out with and mixing with.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I think it's amazing. And as I say, every year you grow this NeedAFeed organisation in some way to reach more people, and this is just one more way. Now, you said before, you know, the last few years have been really, really tough on you. But, you know, once again, you've just got that tenacity to kind of move through things, but it's never easy. From the surface, we think everyone just cruises through stuff, but underneath, you know, it was some really dark days there for you. But you're really thriving now, and you're thriving through practicing conscious balance in your life. So do you want to explain to us what that is?
Well, for me, it's now that I'm a single mother, which I never, ever imagined that I would be.
Yeah.
I have 3 daughters and I'm running 2 businesses and trying to do life in general and the shopping and all the day-to-day kinds of activities. I have boundaries.
Yeah.
So there's things like I don't email after a certain time. I don't answer the phone after a certain time. I try and set examples for my daughters. I just really want to have the balance and be there for them, because one of them's 15 now, 15, 12 and nearly 7. And wow, and everyone says it, wow, doesn't time go quick? Yeah, it does.
No, you can really miss it. You can really miss it so fast.
I just want to be there for them and try so hard to be aware, really present, and be right there in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, there was a book I read when I was pregnant with my Jada, 15-year-old, and it was talking about sometimes people don't have time for the whole meditating thing, which I don't actually sit down and meditate, but this book, I always think about it. It said you don't need to set up your whole, you know, and do the whole bit. You can be meditating while you're washing the dishes.
Yeah.
You know, you can just be right there with the bubbles and the plate. And I try so hard. I'm still not perfect at it, but I'm very aware of moments. I take, and I say to the girls too, let's just stop and look where we are, or we're all together, we're all healthy, we're happy, let's remember this moment. And we've actually got a book where we write down all of these amazing moments and funny quotes, funny things that someone says, and it's hilarious to go back to. And it's a bit like with the haircuts.
I was just going to say, it's the same exercise as that. It's the reminiscing, the great gratitude reminiscing. It's but it's about being present, isn't it? And I feel that, you know, that you bring that to the clients of NeedAFeed as well. You bring the presence, the present moment to them. But that's really important in family life, and also to have that balance as well. Be present with your children. It's something that I regret, and you know, you can't go back. And I was a bit of a workaholic when my kids were going through those ages, and so I missed a lot of the growing up. And you miss it and it's gone. So the presence is really, really important. And it's just incredible how you've built. How long have you been with NeedAFeed now? How long since you created this? Is it like 10 years?
About 7.
7.
About 7.
Yeah. And you started simply by asking for donations for food and helping people that way. Now it's just grown incredibly. And you're a very astute businesswoman too, for anybody listening in. Shaz is a very smart businesswoman, and it's really the foundations of everything and the boundaries and the structures that you've got in place that allow you to really grow this. And
procedures too.
Procedures, yeah.
No, I'm part of the business group, Breakthrough for Business.
Yes.
And I've been with them for 5 years, and I mix with a lot of people who have a lot of great ideas. Yeah. And even though it's learning something at the right time as well. You might, if you can get just one gold nugget out of the boot camps, which are every 3 months. Yeah. You know, that's unreal. That's just how it works. And it's then at another moment, something else might pop in that you've learnt that you didn't even realise. But I always think, you know, surround yourself with people who are doing what you want to do, and successful people, and always be open to learning from them.
Because
I don't think they know it all.
because the right information shows up always at the right time. And yeah, it's brilliant. Well, that's really allowed you to not only grow NeedAFeed, but also keep the ship afloat, so to speak, while you were rebuilding your life. And that's really important too, because a lot of structure falls away when that happens. So
but when I was going through mine, it's still very challenging. Having an ex-husband is very challenging. It's really, really hard. And I remember something that you said to me, which was a big whew for me. And you said, if someone was telling you this situation, what would you say to them?
Yeah.
And I'll always remember that. And I use that line regularly.
Yeah.
Because then it makes the person dig right in deep and think, you just learn to separate yourself from the situation, you know, and there's always a lesson, whether it's good or bad situation, there is always a lesson. And that's what's helped to get me through as well. Just thinking, what am I supposed to learn from that? There's got to be a lesson there, surely, even though it's really bad.
Absolutely. And you know, just stepping away from the personal emotional drama of it really helps. Otherwise you're stuck in that mud.
And it's right there in your face. But you just go, and I kind of have these out-of-body experiences a lot of the time. And I feel like I'm talking about someone else. Like what you said to me. I do that all the time. I separate myself from the situations, even when it's my daughter's doing something that may not be great. You know, separate. You know, they've got to learn certain things in life. It hurts, and I might go away and cry. But you know, there's a lesson in all of it.
Absolutely. But you can't see the solution when you're in the problem, and that's the biggest thing. And to really step out of that and see it like a fly on the wall, it kind of relieves the emotional tension immediately, and you're able to find a solution, or you're able to just let things be, because some things just need to be let be. But it's changing that perspective, isn't it? And you know, it's all of that beautiful wisdom that you've had and all the life experiences that are now helping you and your children, but also the people that you help through NeedAFeed. So Shaz, with NeedAFeed, I know you go to the foragers markets and they really donate a lot of stuff, but how else do you fund the organisation? And we will talk at the end about how people can help, but how do you fund it at the moment?
Well, at the moment, I apply for different grants. There's club grants, and I received one from the IMB as well, which helps to fund the van.
Wonderful.
Private donations. We do fundraisers. We do Bunnings barbecues. The coffee van is available for events on the weekends.
Oh, that's new. How exciting.
Well, that was the whole idea behind it. Because it costs a lot of money to, first of all, buy it and then keep it going. And the servicing and everything that goes around, the health inspector, you know, you've got to pay for so many things for it. And during the week, the coffee is pay what you can. At Darcy House, and it's $1 in Globe Lane, so that really doesn't cover everything that goes along with it. So on the weekends, it's available for events, and all that we raise there goes back in, so we can keep giving away the coffee and connecting and working, doing our community service during the week. So it's normal coffee prices, $4, $5, $6 on the weekends.
There's a lot of work, isn't there? There's so much work that goes in behind the scenes that people don't realise. And you know, that's why in the beginning I just said you're so remarkable keeping this going for so long, because your passion and your drive, you know, it takes a lot of work behind the scenes for you to keep this going. And
I'd rather be happy in what I'm doing than being paid for a job that I hate, which I hear that all the time.
Absolutely.
People can't wait till Friday.
Yeah.
So they can have time off from their job. I have to say, okay, stop, and control myself in that balance. Okay, no emails, no NeedAFeed staff, just be there with the girls, and be present.
Yeah.
But we're all volunteers at this stage. I did have a job before the breakup, and now I'm living off the profit from our house that we sold.
Yeah.
So, but I'd rather do that than do the job. Do something I don't like, because I did think at different times, I thought, how am I going to do this? My now ex-husband was made redundant several times during that time. I thought, I can't stop this now. I don't want to stop. I'm just going to make it work. And we went without, and we borrowed money from my parents.
Yeah, to keep it going.
Yeah, and then I got a job because I studied nursing when I left school.
Yeah.
So I had a fly in, fly out to Queensland nursing job for about 3 years.
Yeah.
Because of the whole breakup, I can't do that work now. But it keeps going on, and I'm a big investor. So I invest the money that we've made from the house. I've invested that very wisely, and thankfully I was the one who did that when we were together. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's all working out just fine. And I know I can build it even more and help more people and get some more funds in to keep it going.
Yeah, you can, because your passion for it is not something that's going to stop. I mean, it's like we all feel that we've got a purpose and passion here in this time, and you know, you have definitely found yours. So it's just astounding, and it's such a credit to you that, you know, you've really kept that going. But you know, there's two sides of that. You've kept it going because it is a passion and you love it and everything else, but then you also like the humanity side of it, and how many people that you are helping in the local area. And yeah, I think it's I just think it's such a credit to you. So yep. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. The different things that have happened along the way, there's been signs for me. Some things just fall into place, even though it's all a lot of very hard work and there's a lot that goes into it. Different things have happened along the way, and I think, oh wow, really? Did that just happen? I can't even believe that happened.
Yeah.
So I take them as signs that I'm supposed to be doing this, and I'm the person to do it, because I can talk to a homeless person, and then next thing I can talk to Chief Inspective Detective of Police.
Absolutely.
And I'm exactly the same. And I go to my networking events, I talk to CEOs, I talk to a lot of all different levels in society, and I'm exactly the same.
I don't treat exactly the same across the board. I've never seen you any different, whether you are, you know, at the markets or on the street with the NeedAFeed people, or whether you are on TV doing an interview or winning awards somewhere or whatever. I mean, you've just
might dress a bit differently at awards, but
I think
not in the NeedAFeed here.
You still have the hat on mostly.
Then I don't have to worry about my hair. I've got fringe issues. Covers it up.
Because I've been to one of your events too, and I mean, you just do a phenomenal job, and you really need as much credit and kudos as possible, which is one of the reasons why I wanted you on my show. But I also wanted you to you know, explain and let people know the passion behind what you do, the reason behind what you do, and you know, and you're so humble about it, really, because the effect and the change that you've created in the community is far bigger than you ever let on. And it's
keep doing my thing.
It's, you know, it has a knock-on effect, everything that you do, and I just think it's incredible. So
Thank you.
so what's the best way, if people want to help NeedAFeed, firstly, I guess if they're in your local area, they could connect some way, and then if they're outside of your local area. So what's the best way for someone to help you? And I will have all the links up to the website and everything. But what would be the best way if somebody wanted to find out more about what you did, whether they wanted to help you, or if they know a family that needs help, or if they want to reach out in some way?
Probably email is the best, I would think. There's a lot of information on the website.
Yes.
But, yeah, I'm on the emails all the time within those business hours. Sometimes I do have a sneaky bit of emailing and stuff when the girls are in bed. But I really try not to do that. I try not to do that. Because that's the part of the me part.
Yeah.
So I try to give myself the time then.
That's it.
But then I love doing this so much that I feel like I'm doing this. Makes me happy. So I'm doing something for myself anyway.
It kind
but
of
I know I
starts
can't
blending in, doesn't it? Because it's not your job, it's your life. So it starts kind of it's all interwoven.
Yeah.
So the website is needafeed.org, and I will have those links up.
Yes.
And I'll pop your email address up there as well.
Yes.
And for everybody listening, Shaz does amazing lives and all sorts of different events that come up on her Facebook page. So I'll pop the link there as well. You might like to connect with Shaz on Facebook and watch some of the amazing work she does in the community, because you do some great lives as well. You know, you're pretty good with the camera now. You're not shy about it, and I think it's great because it gets you right there into where the people are, and the people watching those lives can get a better view of what you're actually doing in the community.
Sometimes I forget that I'm actually videoing. I just feel like I'm having a conversation with someone. I've got my phone there and I chat away, but I like people to see what we're doing. And people say, some of the people at the coffee van say, "Oh, you're in your videos." And I say, but people want to know what's going on. They might not be live watching at the time, but later there's hundreds of people that watch them.
Absolutely.
And I have, I was in Aldi the other day, and my new favourite shopping place. And
did someone recognise you?
Yeah, someone did. She said, "Oh, are you Shaz from NeedAFeed?" And I said, yeah. She said, "Oh," and she just gave me a big rap and said she loves watching the videos and she loves what we do. And I thought, oh wow, that's so cool.
Oh, how beautiful. It's, social media has its advantages, and when you're doing lives and when you're on there really in the community, doing something for the community, those videos really spread. And and underneath all of that, and I know you understand all of this, the energy underneath all that also carries out and helps the community as well.
Yeah, and we do hold different events as well for the coffee community. The Need a Coffee community. We've got one, we hold events down in McCabe Park. We put on breakfast for people and Christmas parties, and that really brings everyone together because everybody is welcome. So I've got this amazing photo, and before we started doing this, the police and our coffee friends were a bit, they were a bit, how you going? But now I've got this great photo of the inspector of police. He's down there because he comes and visits regularly down at the van, and he comes to all the events. And I've got a photo of him shaking hands with one of the guys, and it's just and it's the best photo. I love it because everyone's on the same level. That's what I say to people. We all wake up and brush our teeth. Absolutely. And then people have made choices in their lives along the way. He's gone to police school and they've done this and they've done that, but really they're just people.
We're all just humaning. We're all just humaning.
That's right. That's right.
Well, you're totally inspiring, and I just absolutely adore what you're doing, and it's been such an honour talking to you, and it's just so amazing having you as a friend, and
thanks.
Love what you do. So is there any last things you want to say to anybody?
Oh gosh, I could talk for hours about NeedAFeed. I should Oh, I don't know. I just love giving and providing purpose
Yeah.
to people, because another stat, it's when people retire, I'll start again. When people retire without a purpose, there's a massive percentage of people who die within 2 years of leaving work, because they've got no purpose. So purpose is so important.
It is.
When I was going through my tough time, right in the guts of it, NeedAFeed helped me to get out of bed every day, because I had a purpose of helping other people, and I had sponsors who were relying on me, and I had a big event coming up, and it was just so hard. So I understand the purpose, and I want to just give people that purpose and something to look forward to in their day, and be open and listen as much as I possibly can, and understand and help everyone else to understand that don't judge people, because you just don't know.
You just need to be present. It really is about presence. Just be present with people, because we are just all humaning here in this lifetime. And, you know, every journey is different. And whether you're on this scale or on this scale, we're still all here as beautiful spirits, just doing our thing as best we can.
Yeah. Just be nice to people.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Shaz. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you next time for our next episode of
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Shaz.